Should you ask me whence these stories, whence these legends and traditions, with the dew and damp of meadows, the curling smoke of wigwams, and the rushing of great rivers, with their frequent repetitions and their wild reverberations, as of thunder in the mountains? I should answer, I should tell you.
She was born back in 1835. 'Twas the pioneer that made her alive. The Kimballs and the Giffords too promised to always raise her true. They chose rich soil on which she could grow, forever nourished by the Fox River's flow. She climbed the hills and the big timber trees, picked wild flowers and danced with the breeze. Rivers of milk from her dairies did flow, enriching the land like a blanket of snow, nourishing her, helping her grow. So much milk, where would it all go? Then cries across the family east, her brother O'Leary had lost his beast. The people were thirsty, parched from a fire. Her rivers of milk helped Chicago grow higher. The flow of her milk had its own special slant. It was packaged in cans from Gail Borden's plant. Condensing her milk to be safe was a feat, and wherever it traveled, it tasted sweet. Inspired, she sought for something more, but who else would come to her front door? Time was precious, so that's what she sold. A glance at the wrist was a sight to behold. With carats and jewels, her work was top-notch. All over the world, she was something to watch. The curve of her growth reached for the sky. Her 20s went fast, she made time fly. Was she wild and reckless in the days of Capone, when her money and beauty and fame were flown? New cars and robes and some bootleg beer. At times she was foolish, though always sincere. But when markets crashed, her dreaming died. Through charity, she did her best to provide, but the need was too great, the canteen ran dry. She sank into depression and asked God why. When the Pearl was attacked, she went to war, and again industry was at her door. Her nation needed her factory. In wars, there's no time for luxury. Where once fine clock gears were in her lines, now appeared timers to detonate mines. Her pride in precision's machinery became an arsenal of democracy. She served faithfully and without complaint. She gave her best with no restraint. She sent her sons to the battle lines. She prayed at night that they'd be fine. Some came home heroes, and she was proud. Some came home in boxes, and she wept aloud. From those scars, they said that she'd never heal again, that she could never be what she had been.
Years passed by, and some said she was too old, that all her glory had turned to mold. But she made new friends who believed in her. They were the community kind of entrepreneur. Look at her now. She's wise and well-read. When others would judge, she accepts instead. She's open to ideas, always searching for truth. She's living again the days of her youth.
Ella tiene sus brazos abiertos a los demás. Es cierto. Ella entiende la cultura de los otros. Ella no piensa ellos, pero nosotros. Su fuerza está en la diversidad. En la mosaico tiene su identidad.
She is grateful and gives praise where it is due, and prays for a mighty love to pass through, to touch the hearts of those in town, that what comes down will go around. She commits herself both day and night to pray for strength to fight the fight, and pray to understand the price of what's been won with a great sacrifice.
U46 and ECC are the trunk of her growing knowledge tree. There's Judson and Elgin Academy and a lifelong learning philosophy. Let her fighters whose battling gains the brown jug be the victors who end the game with a hug. Let her scholars whose intellects master AP be the students who tutor the ones with LD. When lack of funds threatens her visions, let students' best interest guide her decisions. In her quest to leave no child behind, she's committed to teaching them all to be kind.
She's always up for some coffee or tea, a place to find some tranquility. Spices and honey blended with herbs. She's big and she's small, a city in the burbs. Though she's a homegirl, she's Cosmo too, intrigued when she meets somebody new.
She keeps a journal of where she's been, of all she's done, the where and the when. Relics and tokens from along the way, pictures that tell more than words can say. She shares her stories so that all can see the hardship and beauty of her journey. The sacred values from her past preserves a message that will last.
From her history, she does borrow the knowledge that she'll need for tomorrow, the vision to fulfill her people's need, the grace and humility from which to lead. It's no shock that this lady is rising. It's no surprise that she's enterprising. But what's not clear is how high is her ceiling. But what's not clear is how she's feeling. I wonder if she's hopeful or full of fear. But I know what she sees when she looks in the mirror. In her reflection, she sees you and me. For who we are determines what she'll be.
Will we give her song and let our feet dance?
Will we keep her sacred as we advance? Will we sacrifice as we did before?
Will we open our minds and let her explore?
Vamos a ver la fuerza en la diversidad.
Will we slow down and listen? Slow down and speak?
Will we remember yesterday in all we seek?
Will we pray against the evils that be?
Will we educate kids to be set free?
Will you live toward truth and integrity? Later tonight, as you leave the Hemmens, know that you are the story, you are the lens. So tell it fresh, wild, and always true. For Elgin is me, and Elgin is you.